A lot of people have tight hamstrings, and sometimes those hamstrings can contribute to low back pain. But then it might hurt to stretch the hamstrings because of the low back pain. So I'm going to show you a safe way that you can get it all done. Hey, I'm Dr. Sten Ekberg with Wellness for Life, and by subscribing to our channel, you will learn everything that you need to know to master true health. A lot of people want to stretch their hamstrings, but then when they sit down on the floor and try to stretch them, they find that their back hurts. So how can you stretch it safely without aggravating anything? So I'm going to show you something you can do at home. We're going to talk about the hamstring muscles and show you how to do it. I'm going to use a couple of boxes here, and you could use a kitchen table or anything that's appropriate height for you. You want to start kind of carefully and then you can work your way up. So a lot of people, when they sit down and they try to stretch, then their back rounds out. They put a lot of strain on their low back. So you want to do the stretch standing up. And let me show you right here. And by doing this, now you're maintaining your normal spinal curves. And then when you lean forward to stretch toward the leg, you don't want to round your back out again. You want to keep your chest up, maintain your lumbar curve, and then carefully lean forward. So it doesn't look like I'm stretching a whole lot here, but it is a tremendous stretch actually. I could easily round out my back and reach the toe, but this is less of a stretch on the hamstring than this is. Now there's two main hamstring groups. One runs on the inside from here up to the pelvis, and one runs on the other side from the knee up to the pelvis. So by adjusting your hip position, you can emphasize one more or the other. So if I want to stretch the outside, I'm going to turn my hip over toward that direction. So I'm going to close the hip down, and now when I stretch almost entirely on the outside. If I want to stretch the inside, I open up the hip so that my foot is facing about 45 degrees out, and now when I lean, I'm stretching mostly on the inside. So then of course, you want to alternate and do both sides equally. You maintain your posture, you carefully lean forward, and there you have a wonderful stretch. Now, step 2, you want to add a little bit more to this. So instead of just holding the stretch, you want to add contraction. This is what's called a PNF, or proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation. So now I'm going to get into my stretch. I'm going to hold it for about 10 seconds. And then I'm going to push the heel down into the support. So you're not going to see any motion because this is what's called a static contraction. But I'm starting to push that heel down. So there is a pretty strong contraction, and I'm maintaining it. And you want to hold that for about 10, maybe 15 seconds. Then you relax the muscle, and then you lean another couple of inches. And you hold that again for 10-15 seconds. So here's a wonderful way that you can get a tremendous, efficient hamstring stretch and put absolutely no strain on your low back. So let me show you the stretch again, straight from the side, so you can see exactly what it looks like. And I'm going to start with the hips facing forward, turning the hips forward, and then I'm stretching the lateral or the outside part of the hamstring the most. And I am keeping my posture upright. I'm maintaining my arch in the back, and then I'm leaning forward. And the better you keep that arch in the low back, the stronger that stretch of the hamstring is. So even though it doesn't look like much of a stretch, I'm getting a tremendous stretch here. So again, we would Stretch for 10, push down for 10, relax for 10, and go a little further. Okay. Now, let's show with your other leg. Okay. Upright, lean forward. And then if we're going to do the inside, now I'm opening up my hip so that I'm getting a 45 to 90 degree angle on that foot. And now you can even stretch sideways like this if you like. And now we're getting only a stretch on the inside. You could turn a 45 degree and go a little bit in between. And you can do all the angles in between. Then you're really getting to every portion of that hamstring muscle. It's a perfectly safe stretch, even if you have low back pain, because you're taking the low back out of it completely. Let me know how that works for you. I'd love to hear from you. If you have any questions or suggestions, don't forget to leave comments down below and hit that subscribe button so we can keep this material coming your way. Thanks so much for today.